All right, we are going to show you how to cut the wood that you just marked for your keepsake box. Right here, I have it all marked out as it was shown in the previous video by the very smart person that you watched. Down here, I have my 8-inch piece, my 5.5, my 5.5, my 6.5, my 6.5, my 6.5 by 4, and then my spare piece. Now, if you can zoom in and be able to see it, every time I cut, I took another 1/8 inch little gap, and then I drew another line. 1/8 inch gap and drew another line, and so on. The reason I did that is because the blade we have here in our table saw is an 1/8 inch thick. So by doing that, I'm making sure that when I do my outside cut, there's still a gap before the next piece, so I can make sure that there's room. That's one option. The other option is if you just did the straight lines, understand when you cut with the blade, make sure you're right on that line. There'll be about a 1/16 inch off on each piece. You won't even notice it, and as long as you're consistent with your cut, you're good to go. All right, so we're gonna show you how we're gonna use the miter box here with the table saw so that it's safer when you're cutting. So I'm gonna bring this closer just because it helps me feel more comfortable. First off, taking off my watch, take off my ring, safety glasses, my hair is tied back, my beard is short enough I don't have to worry about it, I have a short sleeve shirt on so I'm good there, closed-toed shoes, ready to go. So we're gonna slide the wood piece in from the left-hand side, my left-hand side, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna line up the wood against the back fence or the front fence of the miter box. I'm gonna push towards the blade, and I'm gonna do it before it's even running just to make sure that that first line that I made is centered with that blade. I know I have a little bit of gap, but I'm gonna make sure that it's just a small little gap, so I'm gonna make sure everything is kind of lined up properly, okay? I want you to notice here that my fingertips are on both sides of the wood piece, and I'm outside the red box. So I'm gonna put my fingertips on the wood piece, and I'm gonna be able to slide through. You only slide through till you get to the end, but we also have a blocker set up under here, so you can't push it any further than you need. So I'm gonna run through each piece. I want you to watch how I go through at a good pace, come back. I'm gonna pull my chunks out, but I'm gonna try not to reach into that red zone. So let me turn this on. Warming up, and we are Gucci. Here we go. Eight-inch piece. Five-and-a-half-inch piece, right on the line. The other 5.5-inch piece right on the line that I drew on the outside, so I know I have a full 5.5 inches. Again, the outside of the 6.5 piece. So I'm gonna stick my wood further into the box. I got 2 more pieces I'm gonna do. Okay, again, right on the line, so I have a nice square here. 5.5. And here's my spare piece. Don't get rid of it, you never know when you might need it. So again, for the bottom piece, I gotta cut the 4-inch. I stop the blade so I can set my wood at a proper distance. So I'm gonna slide it in while it's all shut off in the red zone. I'm gonna make sure I take the piece of wood to the blade so I can see that I'm gonna cut right on the edge. And right there looks good. So now I'm gonna bring it back, I'm gonna turn it back on. And you're gonna notice I have 2 fingers here. They are in the red zone, but they're at the end. But at least I'm gonna hold down my wood. Other hand right over here. Blade's at full speed, so I'm gonna do my last cut. Turn the blade off. Make sure it's done running before I reach in to grab my other wood. So I got my small piece. This is all I have for scrap. It's gonna go in the scrap bin. All my other pieces, the last thing you wanna do before you're done, put your name on them, okay? I would suggest maybe on the edge, and that's cutting the piece.